from the detention facility. All citizens should be on the lookout for this dangerous malefactor. Be vigilant.
I'm amazed that we don't all have scurvy on this diet.
Keep it civilized. No troublemakers.
Attention! There has been an incident at the detention center.
Be aware of who your friends are. Be wary of what you let out. Dr. Garrow is not honest. Dr. Garrow is responsible for much. Beware who your friends are.
It's you. The shopkeeper. Good heavens above. I knew something was off about him, but nothing as foul as that. Then I must ask something of you. You're embroiled in this now, as much as we are. To find absolution, well, you must find some way to deal with Morris. An ally to those heathens in the woods is a danger to the village. Not that I'm suggesting you. Well, I'll leave it to your judgment. Oh, but you are involved. Inextricably so. You decided to pry into her death. The least you can do is ensure the culprit is brought to justice. Now that Maisie is dead, there is no one else I can trust to be able to carry out such a task. And in the spirit of reciprocation, if you are in need of my help, you need only ask. You did? I see. Yes, it's true. She ran errands for me from time to time. I asked her to keep an eye on certain people. She has had quite a talent for it. I have a certain arrangement of sorts with some of the villagers. In a world as terrible as this, with evil in the soil and a military boot on their necks, who can blame those who turn to the church for protection? I offer what I can, in return for a small donation to the church. But it is necessary for me to keep some eyes on them as well. In case they waver, there is a lot of temptation within the zone, and temptation too easily leads to corruption. I am here if you wish to talk, to unburden your soul. And if you'll forgive me for saying so, you seem troubled. Might I ask why? I don't suppose, well, have you perhaps been hearing voices? It is a sign of vile corruption. It cannot be tolerated. It must be confronted. I saw it in the baker's husband. The baker, Iris, told me he was hearing voices and had fallen terribly ill. I haven't seen her husband for a number of weeks now. So I trust she came to her senses and took the necessary action. But it pains me to imagine what evil is creeping inside our little village. I only wish she had come to me sooner. My prayers might have reached him in the early stages of his fall from grace. But he is beyond that now. I must think of the rest of the village. We have seen some very bad times here. I don't really know why such misfortune has befallen us. Only that it started with that wretched science city they built across the mere. They did something. Heaven knows what. And now it is laced with evil. You can smell it in the air. I do what I can, what I must. The people here need a guiding hand, not an oppressive one. The military presence, this protocol nonsense of theirs, has done that to us, and with no sign of respite. Pressure like that breeds corruption. I must obey the Lord's will and fight against such things. You, on the other hand, seem of a curious nature. I can offer you something, but you must be cautious about prying too deeply. Well, I was on cordial terms with one or two of the scientists stationed up here. The important ones lodged at a manor house out in Casterfell Woods. I doubt any are still alive. But they may have left notes or papers that could prove useful to you. But you didn't hear that from me. All right. Farewell, and God bless you.
Attention!
Is someone there?
Do you have any information about this crime?
Leave tomorrow if we could.
A stranger, eh?
Welcome back. Are you completely crackers? Say that too loud, and you'll have us both locked up. I don't know how you know that, but it's true. One of them scientists, in particular, used to come to drink in here. Before it all went arse upwards, that is. He liked his ale, that fella, and ale made him chatty. He told me he worked in something called the Interchange. Never said quite where it were, but he used to stagger off towards the substation round the back of here. So that might be worth a deco. Oh, that's brilliant. Brilliant. Knew you'd get it done. I'm glad you found Nora. She can be a bit of a knout, but she's a lifeline for us in the village. I don't know what we'd do without her. How's my contact in Skethermore? Been a while since I heard from him, truth be told. Aye, that he is. But don't let the look of him fool you. He's a good un. One of few of them protocol lads you could still say that about. You know, he were one of them ordered to stop that civilian convoy. The one that's just wreckage up on the Skethermore Road. Oh, I don't think he ever forgave himself for that. Been a helping hand for us ever since. I really appreciate all you've done. These messages are more important than you might realise. Let's just say you've given the village a chance to, well, speak up for itself. Here, take this, and thanks. I think we can manage that. Bet you weren't expecting to find a place like Wyndham still ticking over after all what's gone on here, were you now? Folk will get used to anything given time. Which isn't to say, it's not nice to see some new faces coming through here now and then. Reminds a fella just how strange this all really is. The captain likes strangers too. He treats them better than he does the rest of the village. Means he can do things us regular folk can't. Don't think you're special. It's just the captain's way of getting the measure of you. New faces remind him there's still an outside. Likely hopes you might know a way out of the quarantine zone. Me? Well, I know there isn't one. So I shan't be bothering you on that score. See you around.
The citizens of Wyndham, you are reminded that any building marked as sterilized is off limits prior to demolition. Trespass is a serious offense.
One more civvy gives me cheek and I talk.
The bastard.
From the lake edge
Orders
to
the
the
blow.
top of the village. I'm going mad. I know it.
Hello again. Shh! Shut your bloody trap before you bring every nosy bastard in here. All right, look, just hear me out, eh? See, we're a rotten one, that un. Tattling folk out to the vicar so he can load it over us. She never had out on me, not till last night when she found that letter. Then she carried on like I'd thrown in me lot were old Hitler or summat. Called me a traitor, like I ever had any loyalty to the protocol lot. I'm no killer, not born to it, but she were poison, that un, and so is Vicar. Summat had to be done. Him? My socks are holier than he is. We give our donations to the church, and in return he keeps the protocols sweet, or so he says. Truth is, he worms his way into people's lives, finds out about matters that won't sit well with soldiers, and holds them over us. Blackmail it is, pure and simple. Oh, aye. Or chuck you in that jail of theirs, which is just as much a death sentence, except slower. All I'm saying is that we messed up with factories and machines and that. We should have stayed close to the soil. Simple as that. How is that treason? I'm not wicked, you know. I just have a purpose in life, that's all. Something better. But that Maisie, she were going to shout it from rooftops if I didn't pay to keep her and that vicar quiet. She had to go. And I had to do it somewhere Vicar couldn't just sweep it under the rug. He can't go running off to the captain when it looks like he might have blood on his hands. Please, I know what I'm asking, but let it go, will you? Give us that letter back and we can both forget all about it. I'll make it worth your while, I promise. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, eh? Fair enough. Here, you take this as a thank you, I suppose. I'm happy, you're happy, and the village doesn't have to worry about that quizzling Maisie anymore. And look, if you want to know more about her, the purpose, well, there's someone I'd love you to meet. Mother Jago. Lives out by the old mine in Casterfell Woods. I'll mark the spot for you. Reckon you'll find what she has to say very interesting indeed. Thank you. Call again.
Did you want something? What? You know that he's... Doesn't really matter how you know, does it? Look, I'll talk, but only to show you I'm doing nothing wrong. You have to keep quiet about this, please. Me husband, Philip, he went off exploring with one of his pals. Bloody fools, the pair of them. He said they were poking around in an old bunker and walked into a cloud of funny glowing spores or something. And he told me he started hearing voices. He says the voices hurt him. Whatever it was, it made him awful ill. He's not getting any better. Just a bit worse every day. Not exactly. I just know he called it the interchange. Oh, and he said something about the substation behind the pub, though that's off limits to us. The soldiers will string you up for anything these days, and my husband was exploring where they don't like you to explore. That captain of the protocol, he says what the boffins buried here plays merry hell with people's minds. Turns them into something not human. Not that any of that happened to my Philip. He's ill, that's all. I just know what the soldiers would do if they found him. You know, we've had one mite of luck. Came by a special tonic, which does something to settle the voices in his head and keep the infection down. At least, while we can get it, it does. But look, what's your interest in all this? I'm sorry, but I don't have any of the tonic left. I know where you can get some, though. There's a lady, calls herself Mother Jago, out in Casterfell Woods. Brews the tonic to her own recipe. She lives out by the old mine. I can mark on the map where to find her. And listen, I hate to ask, but could I trouble you to get us some of the tonic? Just a single bottle. We're almost run out. Bless you, thank you. There. Pleasure doing business with you. Bye now.
Away from any weapons, you.
Not even food convoys coming in. Just more soldiers, like we need any more.
when the music was getting good.
Astonishing that Miss Tanner should escape the convoy ambush with nary a scratch. An unusually resourceful young woman, clearly. She's taken an undue interest in some of our more secure systems. One might reasonably wonder why. I intend to keep my distance from her. I suggest you do the same.